Hello and welcome to The Daily. It is Thursday, March 14th. I am Andrew Wiebe. Next to me, a little West Coast flavor here, Jonah Friedman out from a San Francisco office. And Jonah, there are two MLS teams in the CONCACAF semifinals. The third and fourth ever to do it, of course, RSL and Toronto last year being the first two. A huge result for LA against Dynamo at the Home Depot Center, a 4-1 win. Really took it to the Costa Rican side, not what we saw in the first match of the night.
And it's not really a surprise. The Galaxy were expected to win this one easily. To me, what stuck out is that LA have unearthed a star in teenage homegrown striker Jose Villarreal with a fantastic strike to get the second one on the board for the Galaxy. And this kid is great, and he's going to be a big star, as long as we don't overhype him, of course. And then Jack McBean, another homegrown product, getting a goal for the Galaxy. The future is so bright for this team. They're doing it with the big stars, and they're doing it with their homegrown guys, too.
Certainly a tough task for the Galaxy. They'll face defending champions Monterrey in that two-leg semifinal series. The first leg coming in early April at the Home Depot Center, and then the second one coming down in Mexico. Certainly a tough task, Jonah, but they could get Landon Donovan back for this one.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is the way it has to be for me. You have the best team in the MLS over the last couple of years, the Galaxy, against Monterrey, who have really been the best team in Mexico over the last couple of years. It's going to be toe-to-toe. It's going to be battle. This is must-watch TV for any MLS fan.
Certainly another chance for the league to take another step forward. You can catch all the coverage from that LA Herediano game on MLSsoccer.com. Well, while the Galaxy moved ahead in the second match of the night, the first match of the night was not so good for MLS sides. The Houston Dynamo with that 1-0 aggregate lead from the first game in Houston going to Torreon, and it's a house of horrors for MLS teams. We've seen it before, a 3-0 victory for Santos Laguna. Mental mistakes, Jonah, really defining this loss for the Dynamo.
Yeah, the math here is very simple. If you go down to Mexico and you're nursing a slim advantage, you cannot make mistakes and you have to finish your chances. Pretty easy to figure out what happened. Both of those things did not come to pass for Houston, and now they're the ones looking out.
Yep, certainly that second goal from Herculez Gomez is going to be the one they look back at and say, boy, we really let that one slide. Anyway, now we move on to the semifinal round. Like the Galaxy, the Seattle Sounders moved on. They will be in a rematch here with Santos Laguna. That did not work out well for them the first time around last year in the quarterfinals. Santos Laguna moving on from a 6-3 aggregate score. But let's think ahead, Jonah. Do Seattle have a chance to make this two MLS teams, potentially in the CONCACAF Champions League final?
I think they do. The thing we've seen in the Champions League over the last couple of years is that when an MLS team gets into it for the first time, they learn a little something more in their second time through. You can certainly see that with the Galaxy. You can see that now with the Sounders. Sigi Schmid said, you know what, we've got a score to settle with Santos Laguna. I think this team is better. I think they're better equipped to deal with it. I can't wait for that.
And you know, Dominic Kinnear saying, I hope they take care of business, the Sounders. Of course, that one, just like the first one between LA and Monterrey, the first leg will be in Seattle at CenturyLink Field, and then they'll head down to Torreon for that second leg. While staying in CONCACAF, the Gold Cup draw came out yesterday, the U.S. being drawn in a group with Belize, Cuba, and Costa Rica. Those games coming at Gerald Wynn Field, Rio Tinto Stadium, and then in Hartford, Connecticut. Jonah, what do we make of this draw? Is this a good one for the U.S., and what kind of team do you think Jurgen Klinsmann is going to put together for something like this?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a B team necessarily. I think obviously the MLS guys are going to be there. Some of the Mexican-based guys are going to be there. So it's going to be kind of a 1A side for Jurgen Klinsmann. And that's good because the team still needs some depth. We've seen it in World Cup qualifying. So I think this is an important tournament for them. The game that sticks out to me is not the Costa Rica game, not even really the Belize game, which was the surprise of the Gold Cup so far, but the fact that the U.S. has to go up against Cuba, which is really kind of a surprise team in CONCACAF. People don't think that anymore. It's a baseball country, right? Mm-hmm. Not really. They've been pretty good at soccer lately. You saw that in the U20 tournament, so that's the one I'm looking out for.
Canada fans may be interested to know their draw up with Mexico. A tougher road, certainly, for the Canucks. You can catch all the draw here on MLSsoccer.com, as well as Extra Time Radio here on Thursday. You can check that out on Stitcher, Buzzsprouts, iTunes, as well as on the site. And don't forget to set your fantasy lineup. Of course, the first game coming on Saturday, but get ahead on that one now. You can also see all the hints from the experts, me and Jason Seguini today, on the starting 11. That's all we have here on Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.